Have you ever felt overwhelmed by your emotions? Or maybe you've reacted to something in the heat of the moment and regretted it later. How often do you wish you could maintain calm and control, regardless of external circumstances? In today's fast-paced, emotionally charged world, it's easy to let emotions get the best of us. But there's an ancient philosophy that offers timeless wisdom on how to stay grounded: Stoicism. Here are 7 Stoic lessons that reveal the power of not reacting, allowing you to regain control of your emotions and live with more peace and clarity. Lesson 1. Separate what you can control from what you can't. One of the core teachings of Stoicism, often attributed to Epictetus, is the idea of focusing only on what you can control and letting go of the rest. Emotions often spiral out of control when we try to influence or change things beyond our control. The weather, the actions of other people, even the past, all of these are external factors we have no power over. So why waste energy getting upset over them? Imagine you're stuck in traffic and someone cuts you off. Your immediate reaction might be anger or frustration, but is it worth the emotional turmoil? Can you control how others drive? Absolutely not. What you can control, however, is your response. The Stoics advise that you remind yourself, is this within my control? If not, let it go. This simple mental shift can work wonders. By learning to discern between what's within your control and what isn't, you'll find that you save energy, reduce stress, and maintain emotional stability. Lesson 2. Practice the pause. How many times have you spoken or acted in a moment of emotional intensity only to regret it later? Marcus Aurelius, a prominent Stoic philosopher, believed in the power of pausing before reacting. In his meditations, he wrote about the importance of taking a step back when emotions flare up. The idea is simple but transformative. When emotions like anger, frustration, or sadness arise, don't react immediately. Instead, pause. Take a deep breath. Give yourself a few seconds or even a few minutes if necessary. In that brief moment, you allow yourself the space to respond rather than react. The act of pausing creates a buffer between the stimulus and your emotional reaction. This small gap is where self-control is built. You'll find that by practicing the pause, you gain more clarity, your reactions become more measured, and you're less likely to say or do something you'll regret later. Lesson 3. Change your perspective. Another powerful Stoic principle is the idea that perception is everything. Events in themselves aren't inherently good or bad. It's how we perceive them that shapes our emotional response. This lesson teaches us that our interpretation of events determines how we feel about them. For example, let's say you lose your job. Your immediate reaction might be fear, anxiety, or anger. But a Stoic would encourage you to change your perspective. Instead of viewing it as a disaster, see it as an opportunity for growth, a chance to pursue something more aligned with your passions, or simply as part of life's unpredictable nature. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This principle reminds us that while we can't always control external circumstances, we have complete control over how we interpret them. By changing your perspective, you can take charge of your emotional responses and reduce unnecessary suffering. Lesson 4. Embrace discomfort. One of the reasons emotions can spiral out of control is that we resist discomfort. Whether it's physical pain, emotional suffering, or even minor inconveniences, we're often conditioned to avoid discomfort at all costs. However, Stoicism teaches that discomfort and adversity are inevitable parts of life, and that we should embrace them. Seneca, another key Stoic figure, emphasized the importance of practicing voluntary discomfort. This means deliberately putting yourself in uncomfortable situations so that when life throws challenges your way, you're better equipped to handle them. For instance, fasting, taking cold showers, or sleeping on the floor are ways to train yourself to endure discomfort. The goal isn't to make life harder than it needs to be, but to build emotional resilience. When you learn to endure discomfort, you become less reactive to challenging situations. Your emotional control strengthens because you no longer fear discomfort. You've trained yourself to see it as temporary and manageable. Lesson 5. Expect the worst. Premeditatio malorum. Premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils, is a Stoic practice that involves mentally rehearsing worst-case scenarios. This may sound pessimistic, but it's actually a powerful tool for emotional control. By anticipating potential problems, you prepare your mind to face them calmly if they do occur. For example, if you have an important presentation at work, think about what could go wrong. Perhaps the projector fails, or you forget your lines. By visualizing these scenarios, you're less likely to be caught off guard. You won't be overwhelmed by anxiety because you've already considered how you would handle such situations. This isn't about living in fear, but about preparing yourself emotionally for life's unpredictability. By practicing premeditatio malorum, you become less reactive because you've already mentally rehearsed how to respond to potential challenges. Lesson 6. Accept fate. Amor fati. Amor fati, or the love of fate, is the Stoic practice of embracing everything that happens, good or bad, as necessary and beneficial. Rather than resisting or lamenting things that don't go your way, Stoics encourage you to accept them fully. This idea is particularly helpful when dealing with emotions like frustration, anger, or sadness. When something unwanted happens, instead of thinking, "Why is this happening to me?" think, "This is happening for me." By accepting fate, you remove resistance, which is the root of much emotional suffering. You begin to see life's events not as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth. This shift in mindset reduces emotional turbulence and helps you maintain inner peace, even in the face of adversity. Lesson 7. Practice gratitude daily. Lastly, one of the most powerful habits for emotional control is the daily practice of gratitude. It's easy to get swept up in the negativity of life, focusing on what's wrong, what's missing, or what could be better. But gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance. Seneca advised that we should regularly reflect on the things we often take for granted: our health, our relationships, our opportunities. When you practice gratitude, your mind becomes less focused on negative emotions like envy, resentment, or frustration. By cultivating a mindset of gratitude, you naturally develop more emotional control because you're less reactive to life's challenges. Instead of focusing on what you don't have, you appreciate what you do, which reduces emotional volatility and brings more peace into your life. And there you have it, the 7 Stoic lessons to help you control your emotions and master the art of not reacting. By applying these principles in your daily life, you'll find that your emotional well-being improves, your mind becomes calmer, and you gain greater control over your reactions. Remember, emotional control isn't about suppressing your feelings, but about learning to manage them in a healthy, constructive way. Stoicism offers a blueprint for achieving this. If you found value in this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights on how ancient wisdom can improve your modern life. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.